So first and foremost, thank you OTM-SIG community, Nishant, Chakri, Nikhil, and where is Chris? I think it's an amazing event this time, much bigger, much bolder. 20% growth, Nikhil, that we are presenting about? I think it's a good one. See, there is an inflection point. An inflection point is that if India is going to grow and become next superhouse by 2047, Viksit Bharat, I think all of us standing here, contributing to Logistic One, we're going to grow our career. I think we should have, we should really happy about the progress that we are making in our career. So can we have a round of applause for all of us, please? Let me tell you why we chose this topic. So when we started OTM SIG and then we had to submit the white paper, we had multiple choices, and we contemplated what's the topic that we should bring this time, which can not just give the lesson learned for all of us, but what's the impact that we created last year. And today we are talking about a story, and this story perhaps not just created an impact, but it also touches everyone, the product that we use from HUL. So what is HUL, right? All of us know Hindustan Unilever Limited. Very quick thing on the numbers, 60,000 crore revenue, around 3,000 crore freight spend. And the most important things, every part of nook and corner of India, HUL products get delivered. One of the complex supply chain. And today we are talking about a journey wherein 36 depots of Unilever delivering to 3,000 different distributors and 1 million plus retail stores. Yeah. That's the impact we created through the OTM as an application, which we are extremely proud about. And what this story is all about. OTM for HUL was implemented 10 years back. And 5 years ago, there was revamp required because of there are a lot of users which gets onboarded into the application. They wanted to use the application very user-friendly. Now, when we say user-friendly, all of us know that it has to be Excel. The application which was created 5 years was the Excel. In a sense, it was that user-friendly. But over a period of time, because of the massive growth and number of depots getting added, the distribution channel gets complicated. It was very, very difficult to maintain that growth. And because of that purpose, while HUL was growing, we came to a point wherein now we need to rethink what we have to bring back as an application which is not just resilient, but can meet the growing needs of HUL. So resilient, performance, and the impact. These were the three aspects without not impacting the user. Like I said, HUL user were happy about it, what they are using. But there was impact because of the issues in terms of the performance, what it was taken. So, what we're going to do that, these are my co-presenter, Karthik, I will have his introduction himself, but Karthik comes from Unilever, about 13 years of experience, and what he brought on the table about his deep domain experience in terms of the product, in terms of OTM, and in terms of knowing HUL. And he was also on the other side of the table when he started career. So that has really made us created a value proposition or something which no one can deny. So we already started right expectation before we start the journey. So thanks Karthik for that. And we have Shashank. So Shashank is a colleague of mine from Deloitte. He's an OTM architect. The good part about Shashank is that he can take the OTM as input, gives the output as OTM, but you cannot recognize that's the output. He will change the entire OTM framework in a standard way, and that's something is the story that we are talking about. So myself, Ashlesh, about me 16 years of experience in supply chain and logistics. I deeply like more than the product, more than anything about my clients, about the relationship and trust I am able to create for last 16 years. That is something matters to me. So with this, what we'll do, we'll play a quick introduction about Deloitte. So I was thinking what I should talk about Deloitte, and I felt video will justify rather than me talking about Deloitte. So we'll play a video.
It has sound.
You can harness the transformative power of AI, industry solutions, and cloud technology to drive sustained value and navigate disruption with confidence. Leveraging over 30 years of collaboration and client success, Deloitte and Oracle can help spark progress for your organization, your people, and your customers. From concept to delivery and beyond. Connect with us to ignite what's next.
Let me speak a little bit about the logistics practice, what we do, what we care for. So we broadly have, in simple terms, 3 different offerings for our clients. One is about the advice. So we help our clients in terms of their process redesigning, helping them select the platform solutions, and also set up the operating model. The second practice that we have from the implementation standpoint of view. So we are not typical way of Big Four earlier, back where the days when we just advise. Now we can implement a very large team, 100 plus. From context from OTM and GTM, we are 100 plus OTM and GTM team in our practice. And what we do, that we bring a lot of expertise, proprietary tools to accelerate the implementation and pass on some of those tools and accelerator, which helps our client to continue their journey. And the third, which is about the operate. Now operate, last few years, the definition got changed. So it is not about just supporting the product because of the innovation that Oracle brings every quarterly. It becomes, and then the tools and expertise and the industry knowledge that we have, we need to make our clients continuously update, continuously have the innovation comes through. That is our operate as a 3 different services that we have. And we'll offline speak if anyone wanted to know more in details. From the context of today's presentation, I'll rather request Karthik to take over and take us through this journey, exciting journey. Thanks.
Hello. Thank you, Ashlesh. So about Unilever, I think already yesterday also we had a session from the Unilever. So already, I think my colleague has already spoken about what Unilever and what are the brands, about the revenue and innovation, what we does. But still, I would like to touch upon a bit about Unilever with a video, right? Let me play this video. Okay, I think, hope you like the video, right? So, I mean, the background why I played this video is whatever initiatives we pick or any projects or any engagements, right, there is a purpose, right? And Unilever also has a purpose, and we have an initiative called GAP 2030, which is a growth action plan, right? So it focuses on developing the business growth along with the strategic actions, right? Or along with the sustainability goals. So Now, let's see our org structure, right? So for any consumer goods or for any big organizations like this, so we need a logistics plays a background for it. It's a backbone, right? And so this is our org structure. There are three key pillars. So one is the logistics analytics team, transportation, and warehouse, right? And supported with landscape and release control. Anna Carolina, who is our logistics product owner, and Suma, who is our product lead, who leads the products related to TMS across the regions. And myself, Karthik, I'm the product lead for the Europe transportation, coming with close to 13 plus years of experience in designing and deploying the logistics capabilities. And also I'm the hub engagement lead for Asia Africa. So to my right side, Danilo, who supports the Americas, and Farhan, who supports the Asia Africa, right? So my other colleagues also are part of this room. I think we touched upon the global scale of operations yesterday, but I would like to double click on the operations of HUL India, right? So because the project what we have picked is close to the HUL India, and let me talk about HUL, right? So in terms of the factories and the depots what we have, right? So there are close to 100 factories and close to 36 depots where we operate, right? And it's a massive, right? And if you see close to 5,000 plus trucks gets dispatched on day-to-day basis. And if you see the complete ecosystem, I think it's an industry standard ecosystem what we also have, supplier to factory, factory to warehouse, and warehouse to distributors, and distributors to retailers, right? And close to 3,500 distributors we have, and 2.5 million outlets, right? So with this complex ecosystem, right, any application or any solutions what we bring in, right, it has to be a cutting edge solution, right, which we cannot take chance of any of the disruptions in this entire ecosystem, right? Because in any of the space, if we have a disruption, it will finally impact the outlets, right? Finally, it is our sales, right? So today what we are going to talk is about such application, which is a game changer in this complete ecosystem, right? And also it is a critical application, right? So, okay. So about Pragati, right? What is Pragati and why we have brought Pragati, right? Just a quick background. So as you've seen, there are close to 8,500 CFA users what we have on ground, and close to 300 users, they access or OTM directly or indirectly. Now, as we all know, OTM is a bit complex to get to navigate or to train on or even to adopt, right? So the request which came to us from the business was that, can you give us a simplified UI where any person who is very not a tech savvy, but he can easily adopt, right? So that is when we were trying to explore if something can be done within the Oracle scope itself, right? And during 2017 or 2016, we just had advanced layout. There was no workbench concept, right? And the native screens were from order release to shipment creation and execution. It used to take like 10, 15 menus, right? And that was a humongous activity, and asking user to come getting onboarded on the OTM, that was not the right thing to adopt, right? So that is where we came up with the custom application, which was built on PaaS using the Jet framework, which is currently also Workbench is also on the Jet framework, is what I know, right? So you can see that Unilever was far ahead of the innovations, right? So it was ahead of the curve. So during that time, we came up with the Pragati as a solution, web-based solution built on completely on the PaaS. And it was a one-stop solution for all your activities which is being performed by the end users, right? Be it shipment creation, be it modifications, right? Modification, it can be assigned, unassigned, carrier change, equipment change, anything, right? It was a one-stop solution. Now, everything was working fine, right? And the scope, what we received at that time was, it was just like secondary operations, right? Business was not anticipating it to roll out to the all other units. Now, the interesting thing came after that, right? So when they got familiarized with this tool became like a word of mouth within the units, within the people who are operating, right? And this application was in a high demand. They wanted this application to be scaled up for all other units, right? And that is where we started facing the challenges in terms of scaling it up. Since it's a PaaS application, we have to integrate the data from OTM to the external application, and like how we have the APIs now, during that time, it was mostly dependent on the DBXMLs, right? And DBXMLs, as we know, it is going to get depreciated down the line. And we were not confident that using the same solution, what we had built on PaaS, it can be rolled out across, right? Because already when we started the scaling up, we started seeing the performance issues, and one of the issue which stretched up to 48 hours, which impacted the business very badly, right? It hit our sales also. So that is one of the gap we understood, right? And also we understood that this is not possible to scale up, and the security aspects. Since it was outside OTM, the security aspects and the controls, it has to be externally managed, right? That is one thing. And also we wanted a resilient application, right? So the key objectives, it was very clear to address all these challenges, right? And also we didn't want to give a lift and shift, right? Always we think ahead what user can expect in next 5 years or 10 years, right? So the key objective was not to just lift and shift what we had in PaaS to SaaS, right? Also what better we can do, right? So enhanced workbench, I think it's one of the wonderful feature which Oracle has come up, right? And lot of enhancements also has recently they have rolled out. And we thought this is the future, right? This is the future fit application for Unilever also. And that is why we selected that we should move from Pragati PaaS to Pragati New Generation SaaS, right? That is how we named it, right? And we also, I'll talk about the benefits in the later stage, that how it reduced the overall turnaround time and how it helped us in reducing the overall incidents and how it brought the stability, right? So with that note, I'll hand over to Shashank. Shashank, please help us in walking us through the migration journey and the challenges, right?
Thank you, Karthik. Okay, about Pragati Next Gen, right? So Pragati Next Gen is basically a application or a workbench, I can say, where there is a seamless transaction between a planner and an approver or a depot CSCs, right? And there is an approval process in between. And as Karthik highlighted, when we were considering the workbench, the main consideration was on the scalability and user experience that we had to keep in mind. So let me play you a video and show you how Pragati NG works.
Hello and welcome to Pragati Next Gen. In this video, we are going to introduce you to the shipment creation and shipment approval steps in Pragati Next Gen. Depot user can log in using SSO or with user ID and password. Once login is successful, user can see multiple tiles or workbench based on his roles and responsibilities. User will have option to choose the role as per their activity. Select the role, then click on Save and Close. User can click on Shipment Creation link, which will take them to Shipment Creation workbench. In Unplanned Orders screen, user can view all the open deliveries which are not linked to any shipment. For example, fresh orders, unassigned orders or failed orders. Against these unplanned orders, users can view details like source, destination, location, pickup, drop dates, weight, volume, business group, cluster, suggested planning parameter, etc. If user has his own list of orders to be selected for planning, then user can click on an icon which is next to view icon, where user can paste multiple orders with comma separated and choose one of from drop down. Users can also search orders based on PO number, business group, channel, cluster, location, status and click on search. Select the orders and click on Finish. Selected orders will be visible in Unplanned Order Release screen, and they might have different indicators or status. If indicator is yellow, then the order is in unassigned status. If indicator is white, then order is a fresh order. If indicator is red, then orders is failed to plan. After selecting the order, user can validate the total weight and volume. Post which they can go to Actions and click on Bulk Plan by option. This action helps user to build the shipment for the selected order. Reason code is mandatory. Since it's shipment creation scenario, you need to select shipment creation reason code. Below fields will auto-populate and user have to choose the appropriate reason and enter the additional comment and click on Finished. In this screen, user will have to select the planning parameter. Only those parameters which are applicable for the depot will be listed in the drop-down. If user is unsure about the selection of planning parameter, they can view the suggested planning parameter column against the order release in unplanned order release screen before proceeding. Once the parameter is selected, click OK. They can either close this page and go back to Workbench screen to view the shipments, or they can stay in the same screen to view the shipments. Once the order is planned, order moves to planned order screen. Planned order screen consists of all those orders which are linked to shipments. Once the planned order is selected, associated shipment will be shown in the related shipment tab. User can validate all key fields like indicator, approval status, truck load utilization, cancellation status, truck type, carrier pickup date, etc. In shipment status screen, shipments might have different indicators like orange if the shipment is pending for approval, green if the shipment is approved, blue if the shipment is withdrawn. Based on loadability check and value cap, shipment is either auto-approved or pending for approval. If status is pending for approval, approver has to approve the shipment. If in case user has choose a wrong parameter, shipment will get auto-deleted and orders will move to unassigned status. And remark at order level will get updated with the reason, parameter suggested and parameter it got planned were different. Now requester has created the shipment which is pending for approval. Let's understand how approver will play toll in approving or rejecting shipments in Pragati NG. Log in to OTM with approver role.
I can skip.
Hello and welcome to Pragati.
Okay, so similar to shipment planning, we had 7 other features which was part of these part of the Pragati Pass, and we had to migrate. And these functionalities are basically SOPs which Control Tower was using and which was converted to Pragati Pass and now to the workbenches. Now coming to the key challenges which we have, see there were 12 different types of business users which we had to configure, okay, and each business users had to basically had a different rule sets. And this, because of these rule sets, it was a very complex thing to, you know, get it into a workbench, because the performance of the workbench was getting decayed. So if I have to say that we had to work on VPDs, we had to work on user associations, saved queries and everything, right? And because of, we had to consider that during our build, and we had to make sure that the workbench is fine. The second main is on the complexity of the business. When I say complexity of the business, now for example, a user or a planner, if he does a change of equipment or a service provider, and because of that change of equipment and service provider, there would be it will go to an approval process, and this approval process, the depot CSC has to either approve it or reject it. Now if the depot CSC rejects it, then we had to revert all the changes that was applicable for the shipment back to the previous planned equipment. So this was the complexity of the business. And finally was on migrating the users. There are 300 plus user rows. We had to go with a rigorous training for them, and we had to go in terms of we had to had a staggered level way of rollouts for 38 plus depots. Coming to our rollout journey, we had completed 3 months of rollout. We had in 3 months we had rolled out for 38 plus depots, and in the phase 2 there were certain additional enhancements that we had considered. Coming to the benefits, I think Karthik will take over on this.
Yeah, I think the benefits were very clear when I talked about the challenges and the objectives, right? So let me add a couple of more here, right? So as I mentioned, it was not just a lift and shift what we wanted to focus, right? We wanted to see, we want to build a future fit application, right? That was our goal. That's how we can stay far ahead of the curve, right? So in terms of the performance, right? So performance was something we wanted to address at the core, right? So that is where we addressed it, and also we brought 20% reduction in the overall turnaround time. So you saw that video where it took some 1 minute or 1.5 minutes, right? So initially it was taking, let's say, 2 minutes, right? Now we have brought it to 1.5 minutes. So that's how in each of the scenarios we brought down the turnaround time for each, right? And also the scalability, right? Now we don't have any challenge because it is not outside. We don't have to bother because it's in the core OTM itself, right? We can onboard as many units or as many depots we want, right? And also the security. We are using the IDCS login mechanism, and the same thing will be hosted for the NG also, right? So that's how I think it was a wonderful journey for us, right? Moving from the SaaS, PaaS to SaaS, right? And using the latest technologies what Oracle offers, right? Yeah, with that note, I think I would like to thank everyone and Deloitte for helping us to develop and deploy this solution, right? Yeah.
Thank you.